millions of competitors threw their hat in the ring. And after months and months of grueling competition, from golden ticket holders to last chance qualifiers, we've gathered the 16 best Clash Royale players in the world to be here live in Helsinki to compete for their part of our $1 million prize pool. But the question remains, who's the best? Who will fall short? And who will be crowned king? There's only one way to find out. The 2020 Clash Royale League World Finals start right now! Legends are not born, they are made. Forged in the fires of midnight oil. Hours and hours of grinding, trying, winning, losing, succeeding with one goal and one goal in mind, to become a champion. Hello and welcome. I'm Rich Slayton, joined by Joshua A.C. Sharon, Andrew Guy, and Jackson Juicy J. Wall. This is the 2022 Clash Royale League World Finals! Over half of our players have never played on a live stage before. This is an entirely different feeling. The goosebumps on your arm, your hand shaking, the crowd erupting when you win. Who wants it more? Who is ready for this moment? These are the questions we're asking, and those questions will be answered shortly. The road has been long, the path has been difficult, but today these contestants take their first step on that final leg of the journey to find out, will they merely be great or will they become legendary? Let's start right now as we welcome our players. In our first match, we have two players making their second appearance at Clash Royale League World Finals, Sandbox and Keith. Our second match is between the winner of the 5th golden ticket going against the innovative veteran. We have Arden Toas and Sweep. Next up, making their first and third World Finals appearances respectively, we have Aslan and Lucas X Gamer! Our next match is between two first-timers to the World Championships. We have Dominic, a.k.a. Doom, and we have the winner of the first golden ticket, Samuel Basoto. Let's hear it one more time for our first 8 competitors. In our 5th match, we have a player making a record-tying 4th appearance at World Finals. It's Morton against the first-timer, Ender G. Our next match, you might have heard of him. He's the reigning world champ. We have Moogie going against the veteran 3rd finals in a row, Vitor 75. Our 7th match features a fan favorite, making his 3rd World Finals appearance in KK, up against the uncontested top player on the planet, the Prince of Egypt himself, Mohammed Light! matchup of round number 1. They are two good buddies, but will they remain friends after this opening round? Air Surfer and Pandora.
Let's hear it one more time for your 16 world finalists.
Hello and welcome to the desk. The feeling in this room is electric. I'm Andrew Guy. This is Juicy J, and this is the 2022 Clash Royale League World Finals. Before we get into the action, Juicy, welcome to your first World Finals as a caster. You already won one back in the day. You won $50K when you did it. How does it feel to be on the other side of the screen?
I'm feeling great. I'm really excited, but most of all, I want to watch these players play. We have the 16 best players in Clash Royale here competing for $1 million prize pool.
$1 million prize pool, but to get there, you got to go through our tournament format. You guys know this is Clash Fest. This is World Finals. It's a 3-day event. Double elimination, upper bracket, lower bracket, best of 3 dual mode. You got to do it on the spot with only 2 minutes between each game. And of course, if you don't lose, if you're the last player standing, you get to walk away with our massive prize purse. And of course, the title of the greatest Clash Royale player in the world. Now, Juice, you won $50K. That's a lot of money. There's $1 million on the line.
Yeah, it doesn't really compare, does it? Let's check out this prize pool. $250,000 grand prize. Everyone who's made it here today is in that $20,000 range, which with each win today, you are going to be grabbing another extra $10,000 from that $1 million prize pool.
That is right. $10,000 best of 3. How does that sound to you guys at home? It sounds horrifying to me, honestly, but it also sounds exciting. Our bracket is something that might be a bit of a challenge for a lot of these people. As you said, the best 16 players in the world. But Juicy, is there one match here that stands out to you more than the rest?
Most of these matches have a favorite, an easy pick, but if there's one that stands out to me, it is Air Surfer versus Pandora. Very even matchup. That's the one I'm most excited to watch.
Yeah, that's a really, really great matchup. It seems like a lot of us were split between Pandora or Air Surfer. Let's take a look here at the caster predictions. You guys probably saw them online on Twitter at Esports Royale EN. There is, of course, only one set of caster predictions that is correct, and that is my set of caster predictions. I've got a lot of faith there, and as you can see, with that match 8 surprisingly on the desk, all of us are going for Air Surfer, so maybe Pandora will be playing upset, but those are just our predictions. What about your guys' predictions at home? That's right, your predictions matter. Go to event.clashroyale.com to follow along with all 3 days of our action. But most importantly, you can get your predictions in so we can talk about them live on broadcast, and you can win in-game rewards from gold to gems to tower skins to brand new badges. I've already worked my way through the rankings. Ooh, there's a lot going on today, so we might as well get into the action. Rich, I think we got a match to get to, brother.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. Expectations were high for our first player after a third-place finish in last year's regular season. But after an early exit, he's back this year to write a new ending to that story. Let's welcome Sandbox.
사람들이 많은 관심을 가져줬으면 하는 걸어다니면서 편하게 할 수 있는 게임이고, 그리고 두 번째 장점은 규모가 큰 대회인 만큼 경기 때 저는 상대를 존중하는 마음이 크고 상대방과 함께 즐거운 게임을 할 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다.
A surprise entrance last year. This player was eliminated by Sandbox in last year's World Finals in the very first round. Back in 2022 and looking for revenge. Put your hands together for Keith.
Sono emozionato perché quando ho iniziato a giocare a Clash Royale guardavo un sacco la Clash Royale League e oggi essere qui tra i miei idoli è un sogno che si è avverato. Le 3 cose che mi piacciono di più di Clash Royale sono la parte competitiva, la parte strategica e che ti permette di fare esperienze bellissime come queste. Let's go!
Let's go indeed. The first matchup is ready to go. Sandbox on the red side, Keith on the blue, and there's a lot of history between it. You heard about last year's World Finals, but even this year in our Stage 5, it was Keith that made Sandbox go down low. He took away one of his lives. So going back and forth and back and forth. These guys have a great rivalry already going, but the biggest thing, Juicy, since it's the very start of the day, and it's the very start of day one, yes, the numbers are great. Yes, their favorite cards are great, but what is most important is they are live on stage for the first time in 2 years for our World Finals. You've done it before. You've had success doing it. What is some advice that you have for our players as we're getting ready for our first match?
I think the biggest piece of advice I could give anyone would be to stay calm and get yourself into your comfort spot. Imagine yourself in your bed or in your chair. Take deep breaths, but most importantly, tell yourself, I got this. I can win this. Confidence is very key as well.
We got this. We got this. We can do this. We can win this. 32% for Humble Keith, 68 to Sandbox. Not a big surprise there when you do consider that Sandbox is the favorite. But again, you talk about their history. Yes, last year's World Finals, but in Stage 5, Keith was able to beat Sandbox in a 2-1 set, and he was able to get a 3 crown in there with that disgusting Royal Pigs, or Royal Hogs mirror deck. But we're ready for the action. Match 1, day 1, Clash Royale League World Finals. Let's go. Keith at the bottom, Sandbox at the top, rocking those added battle banners, which you can, of course, get battle banner points at event.clashroyale.com as you work through the weekend. Sandbox already nodding. He knows what he's going up against.
Keith using a quick cycle deck here. Mighty Miner definitely going to be bait. Sandbox with a Ghost and a Barbarian, most likely going to be either a Mega Knight Bridge Tram, no, and Roll Giant. That's classic Sandbox.
That is absolutely correct. Sandbox does love Royal Giant, although he did play a lot more drill, as did Keith, both their favorite win conditions throughout the competition. But Sandbox does have a 75% win rate with Royal Giant in our CRL qualifiers this year. Hog behind the Mighty Miner. Maybe not exactly what we were expecting when we saw the first 4 cards, Juicy.
Absolutely. The Cannon Cart Mighty Miner Hog deck is something that we've seen come into the meta more recently. The only big weakness to this deck is you don't have any air defense. So it looks like he was very, very confident in his ability to make sure he doesn't get an air matchup here.
Yeah, Sandbox not a guy that really loves to play air. When you go back and you look at his deck history once again, he's only played Loon as his win condition 1 time in the entire run that he had in CRL this year. And of course, he played Lava 3 times with a 0% win rate. So I love that early deck pick from Keith. Shows that he's been doing his homework, but it's all about going from game 1 to game 2. 27-35, bottom left-hand tower, 26-76 on the top right. Sandbox behind by just a hair.
Yeah, that was really good defense from Sandbox. Going with immediate RG for that mortar, and then the Hunter right after to make sure to take out that cannon cart, and then huge counter push. Keith did a really good job of defending that and then getting some nice Mighty Miner damage and a King Tower activation. So Keith has got to be feeling pretty well right now.
Yeah, that was an incredible 10 seconds or so there for Keith. You saw Sandbox, kind of shake his head when he placed that E-Spirit too high, stuck his tongue out, probably not too happy about that. There's a lot of nerves being the first competitor of the day, your first match of World Finals. But remember, guys, this is day 1. We are going to be eliminating 4 players today. So whoever loses this set will be sent down to the elimination bracket and fighting for their lives later on. Neither of them want to be in that position, but still a very even game here as we tick 40 seconds away from overtime.
Mighty Miner Hog push on the left here. The Hog does get a very important shot, and now Keith is going to be up a significant amount of damage. About 1 Hog/RG shot in the lead here.
Log plus Spirit there keeps that Hunter off the tower. Juicy, this deck is relatively heavy on the back end, but you can see those first 3 cards going to help you get around pretty quickly. What is the goal with this deck when you're playing RG? How do you play through this matchup?
I think the biggest thing here is Fisherman value. You want to get the Fisherman to pull in those cannon cards, pull in those Mighty Miners, because if you can't do that, you're never going to be breaking through.
So Fish Boy here not going to turn and grab that Mighty Miner, going to cross the bridge all by his lonesome. Meanwhile, the Mighty Miner is tanking for that Hog Rider, and just to go back to that moment of the missed E-Spirit, that did allow that Mighty Miner ability bomb to get on top of tower. Now we see a Barbell getting on top of the mortar, RG on top of the mortar. Royal Ghost not getting the tank that it needs because of that cannon cart. RG just in time getting on the cannon cart there. A bit of a blessing for Keith from that lightning.
Absolutely. Mortar not able to get in the shot, but
That's
the Hunter
a big
is.
Hunter shot. 1395, 1966. Sandbox starting to pull away here. Now you see Keith shifting a little on stage, maybe getting a little bit less comfortable as we move forward. 80 seconds remain in the first match of the day.
Yeah, he was in a really good spot. He was having some solid defense and always getting those hog shots. But it seems like the bats for Sandbox are really providing a lot of value. He only has the Ice Spirit to take care of those bats, and as we all know, it's almost impossible to hit all of them.
And you see right there, Ice Spirit actually gets hit by the splash of that Royal Ghost. Royal Ghost goes invisible with the Royal Giant behind. This could be a lot of trouble for Keith.
And look at the Fishermans. They're taking out that mortar. The Cannon Card's doing its best, but the Lightning's going to come down. And Keith needs a mortar connection right now if he wants to win this game.
And you see again, Sandbox tilting his head going, I'm not lightninging at the correct time because it keeps making my RG focus on that cannon once it's off of its wheels. 1908 to 997, 36 seconds remain.
Another hog coming in here. The Cannon Card is locked on.
The cannon's on the tower. The cannon's on the tower. The hog is late. I mean, the Fisherman is late on the hog.
2 hits.
The second hit is in. 628, 997. That was a huge moment for Keith.
This is a huge counter push, though. If he can defend properly, he might have a chance to win this game. Vlog's going to knock this back. Lightning's going to come down. Fisherman pulls in that Cannon Card.
Oh, but the Royal Giant gets frozen, and the mortar comes down in time. 680, 628. 8 seconds remain.
8 seconds. It's so close. Here comes the hog. We're going to see an earthquake and a log on this tower as well.
There's
Sandbox wants the lightning.
The hit comes in. Keith takes game number 1 in a nail-biter juice.
Wow, what did I just witness? If that hog didn't get that shot, I don't think he was going to be able to take that win, but he had just enough time.
Oh my, that's only match 1. My voice isn't even going to make it through match number 2.
No way.
That was absolutely incredible. I think some of the biggest issues there, we had the missed Electro Spirit early on from Sandbox. That allowed that Mighty Miner to get on top of tower and drop that bomb. But then later on, Sandbox was having such difficulty getting those lightnings where he needed because the cannon cart kept going off its wheels. RG would retarget. You get the Ice Spirit down if you need. I mean, what could he have done differently? Did he need to play more patiently?
I think the biggest thing is just allowing that Cannon Card to lock.